Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. So, today I asked 211 about 212, and 212 showed up. Very predictable. Time, not my purpose, is time. Time is very, very predictable. This universe, at first, NASA was picking up on the signals of planets being created, and they see when planets are being born or stars or where asteroids are coming from. But now maybe we can manipulate that. It's so sci-fi, right? Y'all feel like it's sci-fi enough where it might not ever exist. But what if it did? Like the Neuralink. We're in Web 3 because of Elon Musk. And I cannot wait to start school next week. I want my master's whether I walk the stage or not. I want my second master's. And then I'll work on everything else. I don't want to talk about what I'll do because some of y'all know what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit up Yale University in Connecticut. I think they're located in Connecticut. I'm too old for MIT. If I can't go to Yale, which I'm aiming for Yale, um, just to get a certificate and be affiliated with that college. If I can't get what I want from them, I will go somewhere else. If I can't get what I want to help benefit and help my portfolio grow, then I will gladly move on to another prestigious college. That is my future goal. January 7th, I start classes. I am not writing the teacher no time soon. What I will do though is after I write the teacher, when I'm in January 7th, did that make sense? I didn't say it right. I will write the teacher January 7th for a little shindig or powwow virtually. I will read her or him. I will talk about the expectations as long as it's papers and not statistics like it was before. I don't think my poor heart can take statistics again, especially when you're given the wrong material. I appreciate you. I seen what you wrote, but thank you. I appreciate, how you felt, but it's not that serious. But anyway, you know, it is just terrible, man. Like, yeah, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but um, let me give me just a second, you guys. Don't hang up or leave. So, I wanted to know what I will be doing at 2026. This is the second day. This is the reset of the year, and I'm in my second day. And I had fun tonight. I'm being honest. And I'm sharing it with you guys how I feel. I learned a lot about Mormons. I learned a lot about Christianity, how they are billion-dollar industries. They are billion-dollar industries. How do you profit? How do you make a profit off of churches? And who who would pay you? Like, would they really pay Jesus? That would Everybody is so, they're like, Jesus Christ, if he came down, then everything would be harmonized and God would come down. And I'm pretty sure they know Jesus Christ's number. And I'm pretty sure Jesus Christ is in the world somewhere right now. There are actually 13 Jesus Christs around the world that claim to be Jesus as we speak, plus. But they have their numbers. So who is it? Is the theorists and Rome and all of them characterized Jesus, and they knew all about Jesus. As if it was a camera. And Jesus left us a gift, resurrection. Do you know what resurrection means? That means when your spirit comes to life in a spiritual form, frequency that a naked eye, can see if given the chance. And it has happened before in America. That's why they got those ghost stuff. There's some truth to that. But he left us the form of resurrection to put your spirit and see your spirit without your body, but in spiritual form. Do you know how big Jesus is? People are, you know how crazy this is, where people are having hysteria where they see Jesus as a white man or see Jesus as a black man. You got black people seeing Jesus as a black man, and you got some white people seeing Jesus as a white man. You know, we can argue all day about the facial features of Jesus Christ. I don't understand it for nothing. How so many people, like, I don't see it fit that Jesus would come down the way that everybody in the Bible said it would. I think there was some curvature so that when they did come down, that it would manipulate the people to think forever in eternity that someone male is coming down. People spend hundreds of years fighting to see Jesus Christ resurrect. It's been about that time, right? Then they said they would come down amongst the clouds, which is like the cloud right now, our systeming system. Some people don't want to hear this. I could care less. But the artificial intelligence cloud, intelligence cloud, you know, I feel so emasculated. My name is so emasculated. KMC 1133. It's so emasculated. You got Asia on one hand with the name Kim. You got Michelle on one hand with stars named Kimberly Michelle. And which I'm not too bothered about Michelle, but Casey 11 3. You got what else? Casey 11:3. That was code word. So, you know, so many things happen, with code word and um I don't know, man. It's like I gotta get this light off of me. I'm kind of tired, y'all. So you gotta bear with me. But Jesus Christ, back to Jesus Christ, which is 10:3. If you don't know what symbol Jesus Christ's name is, it's 10:3, JC. My name is Casey 11:3. And so what am I doing for? And Charlie Kirk is 3:11. Did y'all know that through gematria, which they try to have you ever had that one father that pretended like what you were doing wasn't important, where it was this big, huge thing that was really important to you, but he didn't want to turn you away, you know? So, yeah, but I got all eyes on me right now. And it's like 2 in the morning almost. So just know that Jesus Christ is JC 10:3. It's code RFK, JFK 10, 9, 11. Like it's all code. It's all code, y'all. Initials mean something. I don't know what RFK means. I know it's 9/11 at the end. I don't know what R stands for. Probably 3/9/11 or 3/3/11. I don't know what R. R is definitely not a 5. You don't know how many odd numbers are in the alphabet. It is actually scary. And symbolisms that equal 3. We have a unique universe. Our universe is built with zeros. You don't see a square sun or a square moon, a cubicle. But back to Jesus. So, with all that being said, they make it seem like Jesus Christ, is coming back strong. And he'll be amongst the clouds and all of that. And I'm like, dude, this was 2,000 years. Look at what the government does now. This was 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ got crucified. What do you think those theorists in Rome did? Did you think they said, well, theorist, you sit up there and figure out what happened to Jesus and you write it in a book, but we're out of the situation. You can do whatever you want and write the truth. Or was it narrated? Was it narrated? The government had the Rome, wherever it started, wherever Jesus was crucified, whoever went back to that government agency, wherever it shall be, they went back to that government agency and they told the government agency how they felt, and the government agency said, you know what, we own this property, we own these rights. If you fucking write such and such XYZ, we will kill you. So I suggest it was more of them than 10 theorists or 20, and then it built up. They developed a narrative. I'm not saying it's a full-fledged lie. They developed a narrative way in the past. I mean, you got all these Bibles, thousands of Bibles, a recreation of life in some form. It's just crazy, man. They have all these Bibles, Pope having Bibles, and they can't even allow us small fry to read it. I am fully Christian, but I am not perfect. I am no saint. Those who are without sin cast the first stone, please. So I was babbling on about fives and tens and 20s and 15s. I forgot about 15, but I was saying, they all have meaning. So I'll just read from the script. But before I do, Jesus Christ, they own copyrights. And I feel like somebody took a piece of my name, like Asians have one name, government officials have the cloud, like it's terrible. It could have been named anything. It could have been named Butthole for all I care. This butthole will entice you to get 5G coverage in a network where, let me break something down for you before I get back on Jesus. Wherever there is, whether invisible or not, wherever there is energy, there is some negative energy force lurking, and I can prove it. To every positive, there is some form of negative, and I can prove it. What happens when, in the 1990s, when you take that picture and you get it developed? You get a negative, right? What happens when you sit in the sun and you go like this or you go like that? You can see a shadow, right? You can see my shadow, right? Some people say that's matter. That's true. But God ain't a stupid God. He's showing us if you can learn the laws of nature, you can learn the laws of negative versus positive. Even at its tiniest minute, Wi-Fi have a negative to it aspect. Maybe it did in the past. I know it did during the Biden administration because I can explain why I feel that way. During the Biden administration, everywhere I went with Wi-Fi, they would act a certain way. And these are government entity agencies like shelters and other places, hotel rooms. See, that's why I'm not scared of Hispanics. I just am very cautious. Even I know they want me dead. They infiltrate the hotel rooms as maids. They infiltrate the Home Depot. They infiltrate our restaurants. And then in control. I just can't get jiggy with that. You have that power, the power that you have, and look at what you do with it. Your manager at McDonald's, and look at what you do with it. You could have just let it go. Cut it out. You could have just let go of the fact that and been one of those very few Hispanics that gave me my props. But you couldn't do that. So back to Jesus Christ. So his numbers are 10-3. And it's just so crazy, man. I'm like flabbergasted, you know. Someone told me that, you know what hurts y'all? I'll speak about this particular person. So grab your friends and family, because this Mormon that's questioning himself has every right to question his faith. He doesn't like Mormons no more because of how they screw around within each other and then set laws and break them and hold other people to their standard based on who they like and dislike, you know. And I didn't know that. There are some people losing faith, y'all. People are losing faith in churches. If someone could sell you a lie, back to Rome, in my example, if someone can sell you a lie, part lie, to bring you closer to God, it's no way the government don't know where God is hiding, or his or her or it or they address. You're getting addresses of people in Venezuela, yet you don't know the number. You put God in God we trust on a dollar bill, yet you don't know the speed dial number to God. I mean, you play with God like features and toys. So, yeah, I feel like God is a miraculous person who has enlightened me over the months. You know, I'm happy. I'm very happy. Very, very happy. And I want y'all to know that Jesus Christ in the storyline doesn't make no sense. And if a Mormon of 40 years, almost 50 something years old, says the same thing, then a lot of people are losing faith too. And it's scary. It's very scary. It's very scary. And, I want you to sit up there and keep faith. I want you to sit up there and keep the hope. I want you to sit up there and create your own division within, you know, the realms of which these heavenly gates. Where, what's real cool? We all have God number. They say pray to God. We pray to God, and God, like technology, Trump can look and see who prays to him. So he takes it back to God, just like Santa Claus, right? I like this one. Let's look at this one, you guys. Respectfully, sir, you do not pass. I like that one. I like when I get called a guy. It doesn't mess with my ego. It just, you know, when you're talking about God, you see how demonic beings, and I'm okay with that. I just laugh at them. I don't laugh with them. I'm laughing at their assholes. Like, it's so hilarious. I don't know what to say other than, how are you God? Let's read this again. Are you God? Are you a gynecologist? We got Caden. Thank you, Caden. Thank you. I don't even want to know what that means. Thank you. This is funny. I don't even think I do. I don't even care. I just want to not even think about something like that. All I care about is the message I'm getting out about God in the Holy Land of freedom. Um, I think the White House got God number on speed dial. There's no way they don't know who God is or traveled to see God in some shape or form. God is within the White House and is protecting the White House. If God, that is why, you had your chance to prove how you were going to be. That is why God, this is as good as it's not as good as it's going to get, but this is as good as it's going to get with us being as close to heaven in a non-spiritual form as it's going to get. So what I mean by that is this is as close as it's going to get to be in a spiritual bond. Okay, now I'm going to say some real stuff. I want y'all to know that um, there is absolutely nothing else for me to talk about because I must get some rest. And I have to sit up there and clear my brain. Even with the best of the best drugs, I still have to clear my brain and get rest. I don't want to go to sleep. I feel like going to sleep. I don't want to go to sleep, you know. So, yeah. So, I hope you guys take care. I hope I taught you something about Jesus. All the Bible is code that A equal one, B equal two. They say keywords. It's code. They give you the code, just like I just gave you the code. 1211, 1212. Like, I talk to my time. I say to myself, I say, it's 150. What's 151 doing? It's like time expands, but it stays the same. I don't think it's an illusion per se because it's so strong. They have different time zones. Not only is time zones, but time is very, very important. I guess I'm early to the party. I don't know. But, time is very, very important. And after I say this, I'm about to get off of here. So you take care, you guys. Be safe. And at exactly 151, I'm about to get off of here.